My 36-year-old female, husband, 39-year-old male, and I are likely divorcing. We've been married for 7 years, and a year and 2 months ago, I gave birth to our daughter. My husband and I work at the same company, in the same department. Until very recently, I worked as an administrative assistant there, while my husband is a marketing associate. I was recently promoted to marketing analyst, which is one step below associate. My husband was part of an all-male friend group in the department that I believe has helped him at work. His friend group includes a vice president of marketing, who we will call Ted. Ted's boss is the senior vice president of marketing, Allison. I actually got to know Allison because I used to volunteer at the same school her kids attended. I know enough about her to know that she hates people who disparage moms. For about a year after I gave birth, I focused on getting myself back on track in terms of my health and professional life. However, my husband started becoming distant after the 6th month. Every day it was just, "Can't you do anything sexually?" and him bothering me for oral sex. None of my accomplishments seemed to matter to my husband because he only wanted sex. One day, he fell asleep before his phone turned off. I saw a host of notifications and then discovered a text thread between him and 3 work buddies complaining about his apparently frigid wife. I saw responses where everybody sympathized with him, saying they hope he gets sex soon. And then one coworker writes, "At some point, she needs to just lay back and let you do what you need to do, and get over doing it." Not politically correct, but true. Ted liked that text. Then Ted responds, "She's ruining your family. Maybe tell her that and she'll come to her senses." My wife did. This leads to advice on ways to emotionally guilt me. I was furious and started taking screenshots. I was slightly drunk, and when I told my sister, she said since he participated using our electronics, just send it to Allison via his phone because she should know what kind of people are handling the company PR. So I did so without any message explaining it, and then also sent a formal email to HR. I then left the house. The next day, all hell breaks loose. My husband's group gets notices for meetings with HR. My husband tells me to stay away, and that a good wife would have kept it quiet. Now the dust has settled, and Allison made it clear she was narrowly outvoted when pushing for his termination. The guy who wrote the "just lay back" message was fired. Ted was suspended without pay but reinstated. My husband was suspended, reprimanded, and moved to a different team because Ted doesn't want to work with him. He claims what hurts most is that coworkers avoid him. My husband refuses to talk to me. Never did he acknowledge how the texts would have made me feel. Instead, he says I was snooping. It was private. At this point, I know we are headed for divorce, and I feel drained and humiliated over his texts. Am I the idiot? Did I go too far? He didn't get fired. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. I wouldn't have done what you did because it will have repercussions for you as well. You exposed your personal business to your entire workplace. Only one person was fired, so you still have to work with the rest. You made yourself vulnerable and the subject of plentiful gossip at work. I don't know whether to call you an AH, but I don't think you were smart about it. I would have consulted an attorney first, got my ducks in a row, and filed for divorce. Comment 2. The second you sent that to HR, you might as well have filed for divorce. Your marriage is done. I'm not saying he is a good guy, but I just want you to acknowledge that if you didn't know that it was calling an end to your marriage, you should have known that. This will eventually end your ex-husband's career with that company. He hasn't been fired yet, but he is being shown the door. Comment 3. My husband tells me to stay away and that a good wife would have kept it quiet. Tell him that a good husband would never have talked disparagingly about you. Good luck with tossing the trash out. Now, for the next story. My brother Jeff, 35-year-old male, and I, 32-year-old female, have had a great relationship. My brother is gay and was married to my dear friend Martin, 34-year-old male, but they divorced 3 years ago. Jeff and Martin had known each other since kindergarten and became best friends. They went to law school together, dated for around 15 years, and got married. Their dream was to become parents, but both wanted to be biologically related to the child. So they asked me to give them my egg, and I agreed since I love both of them and wanted them to be happy. That was it. I never got tested or anything because they didn't want the child right away. They wanted to focus on finding a surrogate. For their wedding anniversary, Martin thought it was a great idea to renovate a beach house my parents had abandoned. Jeff thought it was a waste of time and money but went along with it. They contacted Ian, 34-year-old male, an architect and contractor that I recommended because he had done some work for my mother-in-law. Some months into the project, Jeff, who initially thought it was a waste of time, became interested in architecture and the project itself. Long story short, before getting the work done, Jeff dumped Martin and got together with Ian. My brother and Martin's divorce happened quickly since Martin was devastated and didn't fight much. 3 months after the divorce was finalized, Jeff and Ian got married. Yes, 3 months. My family acted as if nothing happened and welcomed the home wrecker with open arms. My brother can do no wrong in my mom's eyes. It's been 3 years, and Martin is still devastated, has many issues, and Jeff and Ian act like they hurt no one. They've even started investing in real estate. I love my brother, but I try to keep my distance. I've only exchanged a few words with Ian in these 3 years, at most, because I love Martin and he is a friend. My brother approached me a couple of weeks ago, telling me that he and his husband were ready to start a family. They wanted me to get tested, but I said my promise was no longer valid since he decided to cheat. I didn't feel comfortable giving my egg, and this has turned into a more personal matter, something that has to do with my morals. He said it's not fair and that this means so much to him. He also told me I can't break a promise I made. My family, even my husband, is telling me that I made a promise and this is important to them. But I don't know. I don't want to do this to Martin. I mean, this was supposed to be his child. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You are not wrong to feel as you do. I feel so sorry for poor Martin. This would probably further devastate him. And while you love your brother, your dear friend matters too. It's actually concerning how quickly your family has moved on from the whole cheating incident. Also, tell your husband he's supposed to be in your corner, not in your brother's corner. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Tell him he made a promise too, to be faithful to his husband. He broke that promise. And your promise was to donate an egg to him and his first husband. You knew and were friends with Martin, trusted him to help raise your future niece. You don't know or trust the man that slept with a married man, and your brother broke your trust as well. Comment 3. Not the idiot. You made a promise to him and Martin, not him and Ian. The promise is now void upon your brother not being able to keep his D in his pants. If the family is so supportive, one of them can get tested. You could also say you got tested and have your doctor tell them you are unable. Tell the doctor you are being pressured and do not want to do so. Now, for the next story. I, 44-year-old female, was working out at the gym and have seen this woman in her early 30s wear these see-through spandex shorts several times. I myself have been in the position where my pants have been see-through and not been able to tell until someone pointed it out to me. So I found myself in a quiet corner of the gym with her. I walked up and said, "Excuse me, I don't know if you realize this, and I don't want to embarrass you, but your shorts are completely see-through and everyone here can see everything." She replied, "I know, and I don't care." I apologized and just let her know I was trying to be helpful in case she didn't realize it, and she again reiterated that she didn't care. Was that awful of me to say anything? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot, not the asshole. You should have complained to the staff, though. None of us signed up to see people's genitals through their clothing while at the gym. PSA. If you want to work out and not wear clothing or wearing clothing that is see-through, work out at home. Comment 2. Not the idiot, not the idiot here. I think you went about it the right way, and even though you may have felt pretty dumb for the way things went down, I think it was valid to say something just in case. No harm, no foul, go on with your workout. Comment 3. Not the idiot, not the asshole. If my shorts were like that, I would definitely like to know. You just tried to help. If she's okay with it, that's her business. Now, for the next story. I am 34 years old and have been married to my wife for 8 years. We have a 6-year-old together. My wife was also pregnant. My wife is very spiritual, and I'm not very knowledgeable on the things she enjoys because I grew up strictly religious. But if it's fun to her, I never minded as long as I wasn't involved. When my wife was pregnant with our first child, she went to see a psychic to get a reading on our baby. The psychic predicted correctly that it would be a boy with blonde hair, which isn't hard to tell because my wife has blonde hair. She also got a reading on herself a year before she met me, and the psychic said she would find the love of her life soon. Basically, my wife went this time for our second child, and the psychic freaked out and said this baby would grow up to do horrible things and hurt many people, living a life of crime and causing blood to drip from the innocent. Some real horror movie stuff. My wife believed her and went and made an appointment for an abortion without notifying me. When she told me she had booked the appointment, I tried to talk her out of it, which she agreed to, but then she secretly went and had it done with her sister. Basically, I packed up myself and left to go stay with my mother. I told her we were through and I'd be back for my son, but I didn't want to speak to her besides that. I lost a child. We tried for months to conceive over a psychic. My wife said I was leaving her at a time she needed me the most, and how horrible of a person I was because it was her body and her choice. She then accused me of abandoning my family because of the control I was lacking over her body. Am I the idiot? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. This is horrendous, to be honest. She's not stable. What happens to your son if the psychic tells her he is going to do something wrong or bad? Jesus, that's crazy, man. She should be ashamed of herself, especially for doing it behind your back. Comment 2. I 100% believe a woman has the right to terminate a pregnancy. I also 100% believe that your wife is an absolute idiot, and I hope you get custody of your child. I am sorry this happened to you. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Pro-choice here. Make sure you get written proof of some sort as to why she got the abortion and sue for full custody of your child. I am also spiritual and firmly believe she needs to be looked at by a psychiatrist. Now, for the next story. I had a miscarriage last week. It was very early in the pregnancy. It happened only 2 weeks after finding out I was pregnant. I wasn't very shaken by it, as I didn't really want a baby, and miscarriages are quite common that early. I was a little relieved, to be honest. After finding out, my boyfriend accused me of lying and having an abortion. He broke down crying and yelling at me. He said I killed his baby because I didn't want it, and he doesn't believe that it was a miscarriage. I'm not the kind of person who just accepts their partner berating them. I told him to leave and not come back. Since then, our friends and my family called me cruel for breaking up with him and are defending him, saying he was just grieving, and I'm a terrible person for not standing by his side in hard times like this. But he literally accused me of lying to him and having an abortion in secret. How is grief an excuse for that? Am I the idiot? Now here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You can break up with people for any reason you want. Accusing you without evidence of having an abortion, which in the USA can carry severe legal penalties in some states, is a good reason for you to break up. Another reason to break up is if you're with a person who doesn't agree with you on the abortion issue. Tell your family to get out of your business and get on birth control. If you don't want to have kids, you can't mess around with that. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Grief is a weird thing, but it's still not an excuse to treat you so poorly and to accuse you of lying as well. It also suggests that if you did feel that an abortion was right for you in the future, he would go apeshit mental. Personally, all of this would be a deal breaker for me. Comment 3. Not the idiot and grief aside, it's completely wrong that he accused you of having a secret abortion. I couldn't come back from an accusation like that with anyone, let alone my significant other who is supposed to be supportive. Sorry you're dealing with this, and best of luck to you. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.